What is up, Teach Better family? Good morning, good morning. I am Jeff Gargas. That is Joshua Stamper, and this is your Teach Better Today morning show. We are live every day, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Just trying to give you a little something to get your day going. Hopefully some value that can take away and put in place somewhere in your life. And occasionally having a little bit of fun, laughing a little bit, probably being stupid. So anyway, we're excited that you're here. If you're watching right now, drop in the comments, say hello, let us know what's up. If you're listening on podcast later, that's okay. We really appreciate that. We'd also really love it if you subscribe to the podcast, maybe even left a rating and review as well. But while you grab your first, maybe fifth cup of coffee or tea or whatever drink you have in the morning and get ready to settle in and chat with Josh and I, we're going to hit this little button, play a little commercial for about 28 seconds. Here we go. All right, we are back. What is up, Teach Better family? What's up, Joshua Stamper?
All right, Mr. Jeffrey Gargas, when was the last time that me and you got a chance to be on Teach Better Today together?
So that's a good question. I don't know the answer, but I can find the answer very quickly. So I'm looking on my other screen here. I can actually look back and see.
It feels like forever. I guess that's why
it probably wasn't as long, but oh gosh, that opened up a whole lot.
I think there's a conspiracy behind the scenes that Ray.
You think
is
there
really
is? All right, let me see. Where's it at? Where's the last time you and I? Holy cow!
You're scrolling.
I am scrolling.
Yep.
I'm scrolling a lot further than I thought I was going to scroll.
It just validates my point.
What is going on right now? I think I'm thinking about like we've done the Administrator Mastermind recap and stuff. I'm still scrolling. I'm in January.
Yeah.
All right, wait a minute. All right, everyone's gonna
sit here and Christmas. Watch. That's the last time we did it, probably in December, maybe.
No, wait, it has not been this long, has it?
I don't know. Like I said, it feels like a very long time.
To this.
Now, me and you find opportunities to hang out together.
Yeah, I think that's the problem.
Ways, but as far as Teach Better Today,
what is going on right now?
There's a hidden agenda, Jeff. There's a hidden agenda.
I cannot find the last time you and I. Boom! Jeff Gargas and Joshua Stamper was on November 17th.
Happy Thanksgiving
of 2023. That was 5 years ago. That's what it seems like, at least, right? That's crazy. I did not see that happening.
Well, trivia for you.
Yeah. So, anyway, okay. Well, so it's good to be on here with you, brother. That was a good
live it opener. Up. Yeah, live it up because I won't see you in 5 months.
This is exciting. Honestly, that makes me even more excited to get to hang out. We get to hang out for like 4 days together in June, which is a long ways away as well. But like in person in Arkansas. So that's gonna be fun. Shout out to our friends over at HSTI, HSTI.org, the HSTI conference. If you want to go out to the Hot Springs Technology Institute, Josh and I will be out there, and Chad will be out there. Chad is keynote in the event. Yep. And Josh and I are running a pre-conference workshop and then each doing a couple different sessions and stuff as well. So we've been out there for the last, I can't remember if this is our 5th year or 6th year.
6.
Great conference. Good time. Yeah. So shout out to Bryce and Greg and the crew out there. That was an awesome job. So anyway, that's not for a while, so we don't get to get too excited about that. More importantly, we're here today, Josh. We are here today. It's the morning show. We're a little over 4 minutes in, and there's been zero value given so far. So, we're on a roll, and I think I know why they don't put us on here.
I feel very confident in this 4 minutes because I was proven right. And my conspiracy theory, there's that GIF where the guy's got the little clipboard behind or the cork board, and he's got the lines drawn everywhere. I feel like that moment right now.
It's that thing? Yeah, that's what it is. So, all right. So, we were laughing right before coming on here, and this what I'm about to say is either going to lead to us editing the next couple minutes out, or us sharing what I'm about to share. So, part of me wants to just do an edit right now and just mess with everyone. But so, if you're watching, you haven't figured out, or if you're listening, and hopefully we don't get yelled at for this, but we pre-record this show. Mm-hmm. It's live every day streaming, but we do pre-record it because we want to make sure that we always have the content ready for it. It's usually just a few days prior to the show, whatever. We were laughing because the day that this comes out, we're both like on the road. We wouldn't be able to be live, which is awesome that we get to be here with you, even though we're not here, because I'm actually going to be in North Carolina at NCMLE with a whole bunch of Teach Better family folks from our speakers network, from our podcast network, from our Educreator Mastermind or Edupreneur Mastermind and Educreator Club stuff. So that's super excited. We've got a table there where we're selling a whole bunch of people's books at our table and just hanging out. And it's really awesome. So I'm going to be there. Where are you going to be? You said you're going to be on the road too. Where are you going?
Well, I'll be on a plane. I am actually going with my son to New York for a band trip. So
that's right. You are in New York.
I am doing a school event. It's not Teach Better related, although I'll be wearing my Teach Better gear, right? But
nice.
I'll be
you're flying
downtown. I'll be flying. Yep. So we'll be there for 3 days and doing some sightseeing, but then also it's for his band. So yeah, when your
I'm making the
boy, asks you to go on a trip,
you got
to go.
He wants to spend time with dad. Yeah. I'm driving, so I'm going down to Charlotte. I'm up in Ohio. It's about 8 hours, almost on the dot to get down there. So it's a decent drive. But since we have a table, I've got stuff, so it's a lot. It's a pain to fly that down. So with that said, I'm driving back home Wednesday. So if you want to drop in the comments, let me know. I'm looking for podcasts to listen to, books that I can listen to, audio version of. Or I do have Sirius, so like your favorite radio station, whatever. Drop in the comments, let me know, because I'm gonna kill a whole bunch of time. Because otherwise, what's going to happen is I'm gonna call everyone on the team, and like that's how I'm gonna kill my drive. And I'm gonna talk like in really, really audibly sense that you don't want to talk to me anymore, and then I'll call someone else.
I will be unavailable, sir, but you're willing. Yeah, I mean you're.
Well, you'll be back on Wednesday, won't you?
Oh yeah, I was thinking you drive there, but yeah,
but a bunch of teams gonna be in classrooms teaching. So anyway, so I would appreciate the recommendations. Please don't recommend this podcast because I live it. Anyway, okay. So I do want to jump into something. So we're kind of goofing around right now. I want to jump into the team talk and get into a conversation because I have a listener question that I think is right up your alley. I talked earlier. I couldn't decide whether it was up your alley, down your alley, or around your alley.
Up your alley sounds
right. It's somewhere near a small, not quite street, but kind of street thing that you were on. So we're going to
read the description.
We're going to throw a listener question from you, a listener or watcher. So you can always share those questions with us. Just email any of us. All of us are just just our name at teachbetter.com, or obviously just tweet at the team or message the team or whatever questions. We love answering the questions that you are asking. So we're going to do that next with Josh here in a second. We are back with your Teach Better Today morning show live every day, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern time. All right, Josh, we're going to get into a listener / watcher / friend question. And I think this one makes sense for you to be here. So the question is, should we hold students accountable for their behaviors, even if they have been traumatized by the effects of COVID-19? And I want to sort of like add to that or adjust that a little bit to be, should we and how do we hold students accountable for, and that's me assuming that your answer is to the should is a yes, but should we hold students accountable for their behaviors, even if they have experienced trauma and we know that they have trauma that is impacting their behavior?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's kind of the misconception with restorative practices and some of that work, because they think that just because we uncover what's going on behind the behavior, that then we excuse it and turn a blind eye to it. And so I would strongly disagree. I think there is accountability there. It needs to be, because even as an adult, there's a lot of folks that have trauma in their life that have never been diagnosed or supported anyway. And there are some very natural consequences and systematic consequences that exist that,
Mhm.
I mean, if you're looking at those who are incarcerated, even, I mean, there's a high amount of folks that are in that system that have gone through just crazy adverse and traumatic experiences, which then have never really been handled at all, in which case then you see the behaviors that, they're working through right now. So, working with schools, like, all the time, it's about, yes, like, acknowledging the fact that something has occurred in their life, and because of that there's something that's going on potentially biologically, where there might be a breakdown in the brain, it might be health, it might be a lot of different issues
Mhm.
that are affecting the classroom and the school behavior. But that doesn't excuse it, right? It just means that we need to be more intentional with the plan to then solve the underlying issue, which is the trauma. But in addition, to give some consequences that are going to be a teachable piece, so that way they're learning the appropriate behavior and being able to practice that. But then there's also a restoration component to that too, which is, if I've done something wrong, I need to find some way to fix it. If it's a relationship,
Mhm.
if it's a physical object, I mean, there's a lot of variations of what may occur with the behavior and what's been broken, but there needs to be something where they're learning through that experience on how to fix the situation, because it's that ripple effect, right? If I drop a rock
Mhm.
into a lake, there's something that's going to be caused there. There's going to be larger ripples and small ripples, and it changes the whole ecosystem. So, for instance, if I have a fight in the cafeteria, there's a huge ripple effect that goes through that campus, right? The 200 kids that saw it occur, the teachers, the administrators, the parents are affected. Then those kids that were witnesses to it then talk about it, and you can feel it.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
it's amazing as an administrator. You can feel that ripple effect go through. And so when you talk about, like, who has been affected and have that conversation with a kid, a lot of times they don't even realize the impact that they have had on the whole educational environment.
Yeah, and really, so going back to like how you initially said, like it's when you uncover the trauma, it's not an excuse, but it's the reason. And once we
Correct.
know the reason that might be causing, or reasons that are causing some of the behavior issues, now we can address it. And I think you did a nice job of laying out the fact that, like, and it's not a quick and easy address. Usually, there's a lot of different pieces that have to be addressed. There's the restorative piece of it. There's the conversation, and what we are hopefully doing through the consequences that they do have, the accountability they have, and hopefully done through a trauma-informed lens with restorative practices in place. We are hopefully helping them understand, one, that there are consequences, but also for them to understand that, like, you did this thing, you hurt people, or you caused issues, or whatever, and that's wrong, and you're gonna face a consequence. But you also are understanding that, like, we should be trying to help them understand, but this is why you thought that, this is why you reacted that way, and let's work together to try and fix that. And
Mhm.
obviously all this is, I don't think it sounds easy, but it's a lot harder than it sounds. Right, and
Yeah,
it's
for
a
sure.
long-term process, and I think it's key. I think the worst thing we can do is actually say no to that question and not hold students accountable, when just because it's related to a to some sort of trauma. I think the difference is we get this misconception of, like, well, I don't want to cause more trauma. And that's where educating yourself by either working with a professional who specializes in trauma informed practices and restorative practices, or reading books and reading literature, studying on how to approach it, can help that, because now you can be like, no, you know what? No, I'm still very we still have good discipline here. We have
Mhm.
proper discipline here. We have good, well-behaved kids, but when things happen, we know how to approach it with the right approach and the right methods and conversations to try and help that child get through it and be better.
Mhm. Yeah. So
Yeah.
equate it to parenting, Jeff. I mean, if your kid is doing something incorrect, you're not going to turn a blind eye to it, because
Hmm.
I tell my kids at home all the time, all six of them, that I'm doing this because I love you. I'm trying to teach you the appropriate way
Yeah.
to eventually become a successful and, an adult, really. This is
Yeah.
preparation for you to hopefully have a wonderful life as an adult. And I said the same thing to my students all the time. I'm doing this. Consequence here isn't a reflection of me disliking you. It's because
Hmm.
the opposite. It's because I love you. I want to pour into you. And so the worst thing we can do as educators is have a consequence that has no relation to what occurred
And
with their
doesn't make
behavior.
sense, and the child doesn't
Yes.
understand. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. If I'm just throwing them in a room for 8 hours, for multiple days, for them, it's like, okay, well, yes, there's a punishment, but this doesn't equate to the behavior that occurred. So like this
And I may
doesn't
not
make
even
sense.
understand why I'm being punished the way I am.
Correct.
So, and I'm glad you brought up parenting, because that's something that I wish I would say from day one, but definitely in the last 4 or 5 years have been really trying to focus on myself as a father, is like
Yep.
trying to understand before I react, understand why my son or daughter did that thing or reacted that way. And actually having the conversation with them is like, well, what happened? And they say, well, I hit her. Why'd you do that, buddy? And we've got to this point where, like, I can't remember the last time that happened, but where his answer is simply to go, I was having trouble controlling my anger. Oh, okay. Well, what made you angry? Right. That's very different. Now he's still going to get whatever the consequence is. Right.
Yep.
But we're going to have a conversation about why. And then we actually talk about it. And typically how we approach it is like, okay, Mike, so like you wouldn't like that, right? We had that conversation.
Yep.
We restored however necessary for him to talk to his sister or whatnot. And then it would be, Mike, so I'm thinking the way I've now tried to approach as far as like the punishment, the consequence part about it is like, so what I'm thinking is that probably means that maybe you don't get to do X for Y many days. And then most of the time, I think I'm fortunate. We got good kids who that have good logic, and he's like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, he's like, yeah, I get it. Obviously it's harder. Like, I'm sure he has some trauma, but hopefully he doesn't have, I don't think he has a ton, right? Not a noticeable thing where it's a little easier for, I guess what I'm trying to say, I'm trying not to make that sound so easy, because it shouldn't be that. It's not always that easy, but like what I'm trying to get at is like, this is the approach I'm trying to take in our parents, where there's still consequences. There's still, quote unquote discipline in the house, and but it's with that love of like, the goal is not punishing you because you pissed me off.
Right.
The goal is helping you understand that you shouldn't have done what you did, but more importantly, why you shouldn't have done what you did, which is to your point of the ripple effect, because it hurt someone, or because it did this, or because that might make someone feel disrespected. It could cause issues later for you, or, stuff like that. So I think it's super important. I think it's really important that you absolutely hold them accountable, and that you help them understand that, hey, that might be the reason you did that, but it's not an excuse to do that. It's just the reason you did. And so we need to fix that.
For sure.
So,
and as a parent, it's easy to throw, just send your kid to the room, or, back in the day, like I got the belt, right? So like, that's an easy, quick fix to the problem. But in the grand scheme of thing, like you're talking about, you're getting to the bottom of the emotion and helping them through understanding what's going on in their brain, and trying to figure out a solution in the future, what they should do instead. And so, yes, like you said, it's not easy. It takes time, takes work. But in the long run, as you're saying, you can't even think of the last time that occurred. When we spend the time up front, on the back end, then you're not having to deal with these behaviors over and over and over again. So I know it seems like a lot at the beginning, but it's something where you're going to be dealing with student behavior regardless. So would you rather do it on the front end, or would you rather spend all your time on the back end?
Yeah. Good question, though, whoever that was. We don't take names usually on these. We just answer questions. But I love it. Again, if you have a question you want to send in, or something, just a topic you want us to try and vamp on and get in the comments for and stuff like that, pop us emails. All of our emails are just our names at teachbetter.com, or you can obviously always connect with the team on any of the socials at teachbetterteam. What else? Last thing I want to mention, because we did reference earlier about how we do get to do the admin recap every now and then. So if you're an administrator and a school leader, we do have our free administrative mastermind every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. on Zoom. But that also comes with an exclusive Facebook group as well. So if you can't make the meetings, there's a lot of activity and a lot of support in there as well. That's free to sign up for and get involved with. teachbetter.com/mastermind. So appreciate you all for watching. Appreciate you all for listening. Keep sharing this out and letting us know what we can do to help you. All right. We'll talk to you soon.
Hey, Teach Better community. Thank you so much for joining the Teach Better Today morning show every single weekday at 7 a.m. Eastern. We have so many resources for you outside of this live stream at teachbetter.com, including blogs, podcasts, and professional development that will bring our team to your school. Wherever you are listening from this morning, please make sure you are sharing and celebrating the incredible educators in this world. And hey, if you are listening over on a podcast to Teach Better Talk, we would love a 5-star review. The comments are always so entertaining. We'll see you tomorrow.